Alright everybody, so welcome back. Alright, so this video guys is coming from my main base, Master Odin, which is now in state 106. So this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the other one, guys. I just want to make a little rant about a few things that have been happening in the game, which are kind of ridiculous from my point of view. At least a lot of people's point of view. I know a lot of you have been sending me comments on Facebook and a few emails specifically about Mini and the direction that traps are going to be going in the next couple of weeks, even right now. First off, this account that I'm using right now, one of my main accounts, I have two, right? I have one in ATSO, which is state 98. Right now, I'm one of my subscribers. We were talking back and forth online, and I put my main into 106, and I'm going to stay in this alliance for a little while, just to do some videos here. So if you're in state 106 and you watch some of the videos, yeah, just drop a comment, say hello, or say hi to me in game. It's Master Odin. That's my main base here. So I'll be here for a little while. But yeah, let's stay on point for this video, all right? Because there's a couple of things I got to talk about, and it's really important, especially not just for traps, but if you were a mid-range rally filler, you're gonna. I mean, you've probably already seen videos from other YouTubers. I'm a little bit late behind this, but I want to talk about it for a minute. Okay, there's a report that I have here. I don't know if it's saved. No. Okay, so I'm after cleaning out my stuff. Where's the victory? No, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, shit. I think I cleaned out my box. Okay. Anyway, the new gear, guys. Let's just talk about that for a second, okay? The new gear. I've never played God of War. Or Game of War, sorry. I'm confusing the names again. But a lot of players... Like, I'm in a few line groups myself, one for traps, one for rally leads, and I do follow a few guys that have played Game of War and that play Mobile Strike at a fairly high level. And this new gear here, the Ultimate Grand Champion set, from what I've been told, this surpasses almost any boosts even in Game of War. Okay, so with 100,000 attacks percent, with everything maxed in the new trees, from what I've been told, this will cost you between, if you're not using any loader, if you're not using Amazon coin, in the range between 30 packages, roughly, on average, maybe 28 to, we'll say, 40. So, I mean, that's $4,000, $5,000 to get all this stuff. That's crazy, for one. Number two, they've come out with a lot of attack stuff, but very, very little defense stuff for traps. So basically, traps went from being in hard shape already, and then they released the mercenary tree. The augment, or not the augment tree, they came out with the augments a little while ago. Excuse me, but they have this new mercenary tree, okay, which I haven't even touched yet. They came out with the advanced tree. They came out with this new attack gear, and now they're coming out with even more with the defense debuff and the health debuff. I'm not sure if it's still on the blog here. Let's see if it is. Special race to advanced, yeah. So advanced future, red eye scope, the new augments, the new battle ports and stuff like that. DBC is active in your state. I think that's gone now. Right, like this stuff here. So now, for those, most of you guys probably know what this is already. Okay, armor Pearson is defense debuff, which if you have like 5,000 defense, you only have 4,500 defense, and if you have 5,000 health, you only have 4,500. So that's 1,000% taken away from you, on top of guys that are already huge in attacking. Now, for my subscribers who've seen my last few videos, you remember there was, I think it was in the last 4-way state versus state, you saw me switch a defense boost to an attack boost. And the difference went from 16 million tier 2s dying and me winning on points to 54 million tier 2s dying and getting crushed. Okay? And that was because I took away 500% of my defense. Now, oops, sorry. Oh, okay. So sorry, guys. I got to keep my thumb on the screen because I'm recording from my phone, so I apologize about that. But where was I? Okay, so if you look at when I changed my boosts over, the immense amount of power that ended up being destroyed from me, it was crazy. Now, attackers, especially the big spenders, are going to have defense debuff and health debuff. So that's going to be the regular, okay? This gear, from what I've been told, is bigger than any boost all at once, even at the Game of War level, okay? And this is not just coming from line. This is coming from Game of War players that also play this, that I'm in contact with, not regularly, but you know, they've been getting a lot of questions recently, and I wanted to top up. A lot of you have been texting me, you know, Demon, how are you gonna be a solo trap now? Honestly, guys, I don't have a fucking clue. The level that these attacks that are coming in are absurd. It's huge. Now, at the same time, it's kind of good, you know, for the spenders because they get to go out and wreck bases that they could never, you know, attack before. But as traps, you know, us players that are more on a, we'll say, restricted budget. I know I'm on a restricted budget. I'm also a hypocrite. I have 3 accounts. But I haven't put any money into any of them in a while, right? I've just been, you know, loading packs for a few of my guys and just sitting and waiting. They've come out with so much for the attackers, and they haven't even really come out with anything for defense. I mean, if you look at, hold on, not the research tree. If we just look at the gear again really quickly, where's it to? Manufacturer. Okay, yeah. So the set gear, you get this in about 1 pack, which is much better than the Garrison gear. It's much better than Winter Guardian gear in comparison. I mean, you have 600 defense, and you know, this is a pretty good set for defense. Okay, but how good is it really? Is it really worth putting in a pack to get it? Well, even the I'll talk a little bit off topic for a second. The people that I load for, okay, mostly, on average, they put in about 4 to 6 packs, right? Each. So most of them have the Grand Champion set, okay? So same defense, same all this, but I mean, look at the different stats. It's basically double. If you look at the helmet here, troop attack is 1200, 800, 1400, you know, and 600. Let's go down to the champion set. 425, 650, 225. Yeah, for defense gear, not really. It's more of an attack gear, but that's almost 3 times the difference. So even the average, and what I mean by average spender, I mean someone whose budget is not 30, 40 packs to unlock the next set, but the average guys. I mean, look at that. You know, you go into Grand Champion, or, you know, here, that's 3 times. You go up into the Ultimate, the guys who have this, oh my God. Right now, I'm looking for people on Mobile Strike. So this is actually something I want to ask. If anyone has the Ultimate Grand Champion set, and they have most of the research maxed out, send me an inbox. I would love to take a hit just to post on how badly. I did it again. Sorry, guys. So back to it. If one of you guys that have this gear, I really like to take a hit in Odin, and I'd like to take a hit in Mini. Okay, I haven't really touched this trap since the last 4-way event, and I'd love to test it and just to see, you know, where people stand. But I've been hit with some of the other gear before, and it's not pretty. So what does this mean? Well, recently they've been releasing so many things all at once, right? Like when one day comes out, it's like advanced. The next day, it's mercenary tree. The next, it's augments. Then the next, they release this mega set. Okay, it's too much to stay on top of. And I mean, if you're not a spender now, let me rephrase that. If you're not a big spender, the next little while is going to be extremely shitty for you because it's just I'm in a trap group online because I'm really starting to focus more on mini, and I really want to get that trap to a solo and mid-range rally trap. And there's people who have 600 million each tier 2, 500 million each tier 3. I think it's like 200 million each tier 4, and they have like 50 million tier 5s. Okay, so they're fairly big bases, and they are getting scorched, like losing an absurd amount of troops, and their research is much higher than mine. Their troop count is much higher, and they're built to take it. But even with this mid-level research and gear, they're just getting absolutely butchered. Now, when someone has this ultimate attack gear with all the boosts active, oh my, this is not going to be good for any traps in the game. I'm guessing that Machine Zone and Epic War, they're looking to kind of force the lower level traps, like give the spenders some fun, but it's really only really fun for, you know, the 1% of guys who can afford $4,000 a month to stay on top of it, and that's not most of you, you know, myself included. So it kind of stinks because even I took a nerf hit because I fucked up my tier 1 counts, but it seems like there's nothing to really counteract some of this new gear at the moment. So I really think this video, I'm just kind of ranting a bit because they come out with all this gear, all this research, all these augments, you know, the Battle Lab, Troop Academy. I got to upgrade the Covert Ops, this building here. I probably can get it to 21 right now. I just haven't had time. I've just been too busy. It's Lunar New Year over here in Asia. Oh, by the way, I should say that right away. Happy Lunar New Year. If you're anywhere in Asia or you're celebrating, I wish you a happy Lunar New Year from South Korea. So I really hope everything is going well for you guys in there. But back on point. In the next couple of videos, maybe not after this one, but I'm going to see if I can get a hit with that Ultimate Grand Champion set. And I'm going to post the results here so you guys can kind of get an idea what you're in for. But I'm going to make a suggestion, guys. I think this is a bit of a dirty ploy from the game. And when you think about a gaming budget, right? Like, for instance, you play games to have fun. These game accounts really turn into a small investment for some players, right? Now, you know, everyone's financial situation is different, right? Some people, you know, their free cash spending could be $1,000 a month, right? But that would be that's after all bills are paid, blah blah blah. Some people could be 2,000. Some people could be 10,000, right? You know, if you do well for yourself, maybe you can afford to dump 10 grand into a Mobile Strike account, and you know, you don't even blink at it. But how many of those players really are on this game? Right? It's just far and few between. When you come down to, I guess, my level, right? In the beginning, you know, I spent a bit of money, and then I did pretty well. Like, I mean, I could cap. There was a point, if you look back at my videos, I was capping without commanders, capping in research gear. But now, even my main, which is still behind, right? There's only 85 billion power. Let's take a look at you know, my research power here. I think it's like 70, I think. Well, not boosts. Shit. Right. So my research power is 70 billion. 52 billion, right? So even with all this power, and even if I had all tier 4s, I'm probably still going to burn, right, with this new gear. It's big. Until they come out with something for traps, guys, that's within the reasonable budget for trapping players, I'm going to recommend you all just to say fuck it and shield, right? Shield up for about a week or two, take a break from the game, because it's not worth it as a trap. Like, for instance, it's a dirty thing to say, in my opinion, because, I like to play it. I like the strategy of it. I like to test builds. I like to pick people's minds on, like, how can we be a counter fighter, right? So, you have your big rally leads, which are all the aggressive fighters, and you have traps, which is basically kind of like counter fighting, right? You're trying to wait for them to attack so you can come across on points, or come across on kills, or come across on power destroyed. Some of you are caps. But there is literally nothing, I feel, that can make the game at this point worth it for trapping players that are on a limited budget. And even if you have an okay budget, let's say 6 packs, you're still going to get wrecked. Okay? Unless you're up in like the 400 to 500 billion range, you're still going to get burnt by, a top guy. Now, I haven't seen those attacks or hits yet, but I've been hit with the lower end stuff in full gear and still burnt badly. Now, I do have tier 2s, but even when I had tier 3s, so if we look at my build really quickly, before I changed over to tier 2s for points, I had 150 million each tier 3. And I let it go all the way down to 30, and I was still getting wrecked. And I mean, this is one of the main accounts. Most of the research is completed. And it was still pretty gnarly, right? So this is just kind of like, this is going to be a warning to traps for the next couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I'd argue 3 weeks. Shield up, take a break from the game, and wait until they come out with a gear or something that's more reasonable, so you can deal with the sheer amount of attacks you're going to receive. Now, if you were previously a high level rally filler 2 weeks ago, okay, you can still add a lot of troops and still fight this, but you probably still won't be able to fight the ultimate grand set. Very few people will have it, but still, it's going to be rough. So for you guys, I'd stay play it. You'll still get some good kills, and you'll still have a lot of fun. But even Odin, okay, my Master Odin base is not safe at all. It's just not, okay? So I have to make a lot of adjustments. So Odin's basically a rally trap now. But it's not really a trap. It's a rally punching bag for, until there's a gear set out that makes sense to where you can actually play it and it's not a slaughterhouse the whole time. Well, it takes the competitive edge out of it. And if you're just using game theory and you're in a state versus state, I know the new rules for the next one are changed. It's based on the time the CP is held. But even if it's back on points, if there's no chance for any traps to take reasonable hits within a decent power exchange, it's a game. Your goal is to win the game, right? And if you can't win the game, right, if you can't contribute to the overall points of the game, well, what's the point of even going in if you're going to lose it, right? I don't mind losing, but with the releases that have been out recently, it's almost taken all chance from most traps. Some of my guys have been sending me reports, 1 billion power destroyed, 2 billion power destroyed. One of my guys in state 200, he sent me a report. It was a 6, now that was a nerf hit, don't get me wrong, but 6 billion power in one shot. Clearly a nerf hit, but still people are trying to counteract these gears and, you know, not understanding the nerf ratio, not understanding. But I shouldn't say they're not understanding. Even I don't understand right now how to equip my base. I have an idea how. I've done some homework and some research on how to do it, but at the moment I'm just testing. So that's all I have for today, guys. Hopefully in the next couple of vids I'll have a video of getting smashed with the new gears, and I'll post up the results. So so if any of you guys have anyone that can port to state 106 or even state 200 and you are basically maxed, send me an inbox to Master Odin or Minifox, which is in state 200. I'd love to take a hit just to show you guys, okay? And you know, just to see what you're kind of up against. So for now, for traps, if you're anything under 100 billion, unless you're like extremely well crafted, I would recommend, you know, pop a shield for 2 weeks, take a break from the game, relax, and basically wait for Epic War to come out with something to help counteract the attacker's, you know, attacking power, because it's overwhelming at the moment. Anyways, guys, just a really quick rant here. That's all I wanted to say. You know, thank you for tuning in. Give it a quick share and a like. You know, it's kind of important to talk about, you know, because a game is a game, right? There's gamemanship involved, right? And if you're put in a situation where it's a lose-lose situation, the only way to nullify it is to step back from it, right? Because it's like in chess, you're not going to just send your queen down to the board if it's going to get taken immediately, right? And that's kind of the situation here. Like for traps with the new releases, we're basically stuck in permanent check, right? With any move being a checkmate, and that's kind of not fun for a trap, right? And you know, it's also a bit shitty on the company's part that they kind of did that. I understand why they did it, but at the same time, you gotta give. Like what I'm saying is, if you're a player, you can't be put into a lose-lose situation and expect players to stick around, right? That's kind of the point I'm getting to, and I really feel that Epic War needs to do something so the traps can even compete, right? Right now, it's like a situation where you have like a professional football player, you know, going into the beer leagues, right? So traps now are beer leagues. Not even, you can't even compete unless you're a former rally leader or a high-level rally filler, mid-range attacker. Then you can start taking some rallies and some hits. And anyway, that's the end of my rant, guys. So if you liked it, you know, just give it a quick like, give it a share, and if you haven't already, give it a quick subscribe, guys. So I'm gonna do a couple of more videos, and I'll post them up probably in succession, and then I'll go on from there. So guys, happy Lunar New Year if you're anywhere in Asia, and to all you guys, I wish you the best regardless. So cheers, guys. See you later.